Okay, I want to talk about another way to address your power cost. Recently, well, I won't say recently because we moved a couple of years ago, but we I'm in the laundry room. So my wife had told me that the dryer was taking a little bit longer than she thought it should to dry our clothes. So the original dryer we had, we moved from the other house, and it's been what I really realized till recently is for a full load on our washer, which I think we bought maybe a couple of years ago. Um, it's a good size washer. I don't know the gallons it takes in there, but anyways, going back to our dryer, my wife's telling me, and I just found this out recently. Maybe she told me, and I can't remember, but she said it takes an hour and a half for one load. No, it takes 2 hours. She told me 2 hours to dry one load or half a load from the washer. So let me recap that. Half a load from the washer would take 2 hours to dry. Now, when I throw the clothes in there, which is rare, I know it's heating up, so I wasn't thinking much about it until we got our power bill this past last month, and I was thinking, she says, "Well, our power bill went up by $100." I said, "What? Kind of drastic." Anyway, so I'm starting deducting what's going up. Our AC actually is going up a little bit, but I mean it stays at the same temperature, so but it's gonna be the $100 more. No. So just by reasoning, we haven't used a lot more water or the water heater. So this is what we talked about the dryer. She's been going like that for a while, and she says, "I told you a long time ago." I said, "Well, it was drying out, but drying the clothes." But for half a load on the washer, which is a deep washer, I mean it's taking 2 hours. She says, yeah, so it takes half a day, 4 hours to dry one load of clothes. And usually it's a lot of my work clothes, which is heavy duty fabric material, and a lot of towels. So that's heavier material or fabric. Um, so I said, you know what, I'm going to address it. So I told her let's look at the dryer and see if that's contributing. I mean, in my opinion, you got to spend money to save money. You got to spend money to make money. That's just me. You're not going to make any money without investing or improving whatever you're trying to do. So, and I can't remember how long we've had the dryer. So I'm guessing we've had it maybe 5 years. So nothing man-made is going to last forever. You just got to deal with when it goes out, it fails, then you got to replace it. Well, our dryer was still working, so wasn't worried about it until recently. So I changed out our dryer. We bought another dryer, and this is not to say that this is just a GE. So nothing fancy. It's got the regular knobs. I don't believe in buying uh, fancy dryers or fancy washers that got push buttons and tell you, talk to you or any of that BS. I mean, I just it's going to give out the more bells and whistles it has, the more likely it's going to give out on the electronic part. I just want the things to wash and dry, nothing fancy. It's going to give out, and the more expensive does not mean it's going to last any longer. It's got more stuff it can go wrong with. So that's my opinion. So anymore, I did learn that from the technicians who came to work on one of our stuff, one of our washer dryers. I don't know, about 10 years ago. It says the more stuff you have on it electronically, the more it can go wrong with it. So it makes sense. So anymore we buy, the more cost effective. As long as it dries or washes, that's all I care about. Hopefully it'll last 5 years. So that's me. If it lasts 5 years, then it's paid itself off. So this is what the old dryer was taking 4 hours for one load of our clothes, heavy material. So yesterday was the first day we used the new dryer. So sorry about all this mess here. But what we kind of find out now, we only put half a load in there from the washer because I wanted to compare half a load from the washer into the new dryer, and it took 40 minutes to dry half a load. So then we put the other half load in there. And this one has the temperature. I think they all have that. The temperature's got high, medium, low. And I told my wife, put it on high because, I mean, for me, medium and low has to do with the fabric, how, the material you want in there. But for the materials that we use, it's heavy material, so we want it, we want it high. So we have it on high, ran it for, I think she ran it for 50 minutes the first time, it was dry, and then I told her run it for 30 minutes the second time, and she said it was still damp. Put another 10 minutes in there, so 40 minutes the second load, and it dried it. So what I found out is it takes 40 minutes to dry half a load. So between both of them, I think the math takes an hour and a half to dry a full load on our washer, which is it's one of these deep washers here. If you look at the time, hey, well, it's going to wash more clothes. Thing is, if you put more clothes in the dryer, the longer it's going to take to dry. So think about that when you're buying a washer. The deeper, the more clothes you put in there, the longer it's going to take to dry the clothes because you got more in there. So what I come out with a conclusion is it's taken an hour and a half now to dry a full load on my washer versus 4 hours of drying for the same amount of clothes material. So I'm hoping to see some significant difference moving forward. Of course, I have to spend the money, but if you don't deal with the issue to begin with, it's not going to change. So, eventually it'll pan out where, okay, I spent the money, say an extra $600, but if I don't deal with it now, in a year, I'm going to spend an extra, I'm going to say maybe $400 or $300 on drying the clothes. So eventually in 2 years, it should pan out. But you have to deal with the issues. You have to figure out, deduct what could be causing the power bill to go up. And this is one potential right there, one potential addition that makes the power go up is if your dryer takes a long time to dry your clothes, then you need to figure out if it's heating up, if you're cleaning the filter after every load, which is essential to clear out the filter. That way the air flows, if it's creating enough heat. And if those issues are still not, if it's taking 4 hours to dry a clothes, there's something wrong there. It's not heating up enough, or you're not getting enough airflow. So, think about that. Maybe you need to clean out the vent. I clean out our dryer vent once a year. Put the blower to it and blow the stuff out. That's essential also. Obviously, you don't want a fire hazard. So, but that's how we're going to deal with this as far as my dryer. So I should see some significant difference over the next 2 months as far as my power bill. So that's just another tip maybe you can address to try to curb your power bills. Hope this helps.